Hey, what up, YouTube? Welcome back to a new video with Rams fan YT. Better late than never, innit? I'm going to be doing the live watch along to Aston Villa versus Preston North End, which is about to kick off in a matter of minutes. I'm just going to quickly go over the starting lineups of the day. We got Cornell in goal for Preston in a 3-5-2 with Story, midfield five for Brady, Zorson, Ben Whiteman, Rasmus Jensen, Meg Homer, Keane, and Jacobson being the front two, whereas Aston Villa are playing in a 4-2-3-1 with Martinez in goal, Luca Digne as left back, centre back partnership of Tyrone Mings and Ezra Konza, and Matty Cash as a right back. They have got the two holding midfielders of Yuri Tillemans and Kamara. Front three of Marcus Rashford, Jacob Ramsey, Morgan Rogers, and Asensio being the target man. We are underway here at Deepdale. I actually need to learn how to say the number 22 for Preston. I think it's Borgerson, but it has got so many letters in Icelandic that I have absolutely no idea. It's already gone out for a throw, and there is already balloons on the pitch. It's quite an interesting game, this one. Two founding members of a football league. Both teams, I think, have won the FA Cup at some point in their past, but it's been 59 years since Preston North End were last at this stage of a competition. Aston Villa have a FA Cup winner themselves in the squad of Emi Martinez, who won it with Arsenal back in 2020. Paul Heckingbottom, however, the manager of Preston, reached the semi-finals with Sheffield United in 2023 of this competition. So it's quite interesting. I mean, it's interesting to see Unai Emery, though, the counterpart, won 9 major trophies over his career so far. I mean, he's certainly they're the heavy favourites coming to this Villa, and they've not gone for a weakened lineup either. Currently content to pass it around the back, Villa. High intensity begin with of Preston. Oh, and there's calls for a penalty there. I don't think there is one, but Preston certainly ratting around Villa, causing all sorts of nuisance and headaches. There is balloons on the pitch, which isn't helping. It is cleared, but only to the halfway line. The light at Deepdale is horrendous for being able to read numbers. I believe it was Story who stopped any counter attack there from Preston North End and conceded the foul in the process. But yeah, that's not a penalty. That is absolutely not a penalty. The momentum of Yuri Tillemans just takes him into Will Keane there. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. There are so many balloons on the pitch. Crikey. Trying to concentrate on which one's the actual football is quite difficult. It's currently within the centre backs. Tyrone Mings distributes it out of a wing play by Villa coming to the fore. I imagine that will be a strong point of theirs today with Marcus Rashford and Morgan Rogers being two very good wingers. They're running into the box. A cross comes in and it's cleared away. I think it was Cash with the cross. I imagine that's going to be how it's going to be. I think Preston will probably try and set up on a counter-attack for a lot of this, whereas Villa will be content to try and keep the ball. Preston, though, pressing every single thing right now. Certainly looking a very close first half, that must be said. It's drifted over wide and out of play for a throw-in. I think that's probably going to go Preston's way. Although it looks like Villa might be taking it. Just looking at Marco Asensio here, he's scored 7 goals in 8 appearances since he joined from PSG over the January transfer window. Certainly a player to keep your eye on. Yeah, Preston North End throw-in being taken by Story here and thrown down It's gone far. It's gone to the halfway line, and it's been passed back to Martinez, who is instantly applied under pressure. There, not going to be the most. I don't think there's going to be a lot for Martinez to do, but if there is, he's going to need to be on top form for when them shots do come in. I think it's quite cagey first 5 minutes or so coming into this. There's a throw in on the far side for Preston North End, and it's again pumped long down the field. Tried to pass the way out of danger, doesn't seem to have worked, and Villa are pressing again. They're coming up through the centre this time, passing it out to the number 12 of Luca Digne. That's it. He's gone behind for a corner, I think that is. I think Matty Cash was definitely trying something on there. And I think it's a good movement to play at the moment. I think both managers could be relatively happy with the starts they're having. It will be a goal kick. So going to be taken probably quite long by Cornell. And it is. He's got a hefty kick on him. Looking for the run of Will Keane, and it's got out of play. I think it was poked behind poked out for a throw in though, and so it's a dangerous position for a throw in here. We're taken by Brady for Preston North End. Actually, no, it won't. He has passed it off to give it to Emil Rees, who is going to go for the long throw. I imagine at this position, just launching it into the penalty area. They've all moved well and truly back. This is almost as good as a corner kick for Preston by the looks of it. And yeah, he's got a heck of a throw at him. It is collected by Martinez. But certainly a show of a trick of a locker. And it's a shot and it's a goal. Horrendous mistake by Martinez there in the distribution out. And it's just given straight to the in absolute awe. I don't know what was wrong with that, but it's been wiped out for whatever reason. I think that should have stood. Someone will need to confirm to me why that goal was ruled out. But for me, that looked like a valid goal because it wasn't a goal kick. It didn't look offside. I don't think you can be offside from the opponent passing you anyway, so it must have been some sort of foul. Preston's got it in the penalty. Villa's got it in the penalty area of Preston, and it's a bit flapping all over the place. And it's a free kick going to Preston. A bit of a clash in the box. Relatively deep. There's all sorts of numbers as well for Preston. But yeah. Bit of a, I don't know if that was necessarily foul. It just looked like one went into Morgan Rogers is not happy about that. It's opted to go short this time by Cornell, showing true diversity and certainly be the more impressive goalkeeper of the two at the moment. It must be said. Emi Martinez already had the goal in the back of his net. I still have not entirely figured out why that was ruled out. For whatever reason it was, and there's been a tumble on the edge of a box. Jacob Ramsey being getting the free kick given to him actually. So yeah, just a bit too much shown on there. I don't think there's a bit of physicality. It's just maybe a little bit too much. Given by Bjorgensen. That's what I'll go with at the moment. But I think it's certainly interesting. I think it was I think you look at this free kick here. I think it's one of the weird ones where there's a wall standing in front of a wall. If you know what I mean, if you're watching it on the TV live, there's Aston Villa players are standing all in a line in front of the Preston players. It's an interesting technique, but it's gone straight to Cornell's hands. Pretty easy for goalkeeper, not much challenge there. I think it was Marcus Rashford who took it. But that is an interesting technique. Cornell has opted to play it short and it is now zipped down the pitch. Just a bit too much on it, to be honest. Was never going to get there for the forward man. It's a pretty long ball at the moment. That is a good, incisive pass. Villa have it and it's cleared. That is a good clearance there. It was a well-needed clearance by the number 6 for Preston. So, I mean, it was such a decisive counter-attack. And I think it's 16, actually. Hughes did all he could to prevent that from getting to the man. It's gone out for a corner, though. The danger obviously hasn't passed here. Do they find the head of Mings? That's the real question here. He's quite a aerial prowess, well known for his ability to score from set-piece situations. They've opted to go short, and now the ball whipped in, and it's going to be cleared by Preston. Counter-attacking run here by Emil Rees, and it has been, he's inadvertently, I think, fouled his man in an attempt to push through. He's fouled Cash, the Polish international defender, through his grandma, I believe. I don't think there's much in there, but clearly the ref sought it wise enough to penalise. Villa certainly content to try and work something forward. It's a high-tempo game, end-to-end stuff at the moment. Both teams have had a few sloppy passes or needless free kicks given away, but both seem to be well up for this tie. Neither side particularly focusing on wanting defence, and I think that is an offside call there. So it'll be a free kick for Aston Villa, and they'll keep it across the back line. That's so very typical English way of football at the moment, of just keeping it around the back at the Premier League level. But we'll see if the ratted determinedness of Preston can overcome. I'll be interested if it could. But yeah, slowing it down, I think Villa's aim to do now, having had quite an intense first 10 minutes or so. Both teams just need to get a bit of time on the ball, a bit of easing into the game. Good sliding tackle there. And we'll see. It comes out wide again for Villa. That is a horrendous cross. I don't know if it was deflected, but if it wasn't, that was one of the worst crosses I've ever seen by Marcus Rashford. It certainly will be an interesting one. I mean, he looks marginally offside there anyway. I think goal probably would be ruled offside if it was, but yeah, it was a deflection in the end. It's it's gone behind for a corner. Have they made the most of this? Whipped in and it's headed. It couldn't get past the first man. Recollected again out wide and gone back in again. Headed onwards and well wide in the end by Ensri Konza. He seems to have been at Villa for an age now, hasn't he? But it's showing signs that the crosses in can be absolutely lethal, and that's a threat that Preston need to deal with today. They're lucky in a sense that there was no real direction. I don't know if he actually made connection either, but certainly showing signs of what Villa can do from the wide positions in their own half. And there's instant pressure being applied by Preston here. Certainly, I think that could be something that ends up happening is a sloppy mistake or so, just a bit of a pressure, and it just could easily be a nicked in 1-0. We're gonna we're already seen two of the teams to go through to the semi-finals yesterday. We saw Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace make it through to the semis. Nottingham Forest have had so many extra times and penalty results to be able to push them through to this. So I imagine it might have a bit of a detriment to their league position. All of them extra minutes they've had to play so far. It's poked behind for a throw in by Story here. A Story, rather. It's just next to the corner flag as well. Deepdale absolutely packed out today. Normally, a stadium which isn't always packed out. Dubbed the most boring club in the EFL by their own fans, Preston. So it certainly would mark some history if they managed to do it today. I mean, Villa will be content to try and stop them. Villa winning the FA Cup would be huge. I mean, the whole of Birmingham is experiencing a pretty good time right now. Birmingham City, absolutely cross-city rivals, excelling in League One, and Aston Villa themselves excelling in the Premier League, looking half an eye on Europe, and also a good cup run. They're certainly not a team that I would discredit from winning this competition. Do let me know for this early 15 minutes in which way you see this tie going. Who do you think overall is going to actually win the FA Cup? Because that's an interesting complex as well. I have a sneaky feeling that it's going to be one of them teams that you don't quite expect to win it this time around. I know Man City is still in it. I think we could end up seeing a Bournemouth or a Palace winning it. Be interesting. Villa as well, if they get past Preston today. They're in the midfield circle and it's just a bit too fast. And unfortunately for Asensio, he can't quite turn his body in time to do the run. It was an absolute rapid ball forward from midfield, and I think he was offside anyway. Jacob Ramsey causing all sorts of problems with his passing and wing play at the moment. Certainly someone I've been impressed with at the moment. It's quite a high line which was being employed by Preston, so the free kick for the offside is about halfway in their own half. Emery's looking quite concerned because it's going to be very long. We know that the long balls Preston possess could be quite a challenge. It's out on the left-hand side wing, gone inwards by Rogers, or Ramsey, sorry. Keep on mixing up the two wingers. As I said, the light in Deepdale does not help seeing numbers at all here. In the central circle by Mings, I think, and it's gone forward. But Preston have it, and they could definitely push in numbers, and they're going to. A bit of pace and a bit of a silly shot there by Bjornsson, I think it is. It was overall quite a tame shot, going well and truly wide and across the bottom of the ground. And Aston Villa with a counter-attack from this goal kick. They're into the penalty area. Good defending, and Preston could build themselves out of danger. They're utilising the weaknesses of the wings that Villa have exploited themselves by pushing so many forward on that far right-hand side. They've opted to go back to the goalkeeper, Preston. And Aston Villa also apply a bit of pressure of their own this time round. Over it goes. There's no one there for the second ball, though, and it's gone back to Martinez. Very end-to-end stuff, I think it must be said. I couldn't really call it at the moment. I did say during the predictions, I think, that it was going to end level pegging and Villa to win in extra time or penalties, I'm not going to change that because I think the intensity of this game is proving that. So a bit of a rugged determination by Preston to continue their amazing cup run so far. If we just take a quick look at the FA Cup run that Preston have had so far, we can see some of the teams that they've surpassed to get here. Charlton Athletic in the third round, the Wycombe Wanderers in the fourth round. In the fifth round, they passed local rivals Burnley 3-0. So this is the first time actually facing Premier League opposition. And they seem well up for it. Ramsey has been fouled, just outstretched hand pulling him back. Aston Villa have had probably equally as a slightly more difficult run. The third round, they surpassed West Ham United 2-1. Last in the fourth round, they had to pass Tottenham Hotspur 2-1. And last round, they passed Cardiff City 2-0. It's not been an easy run for them, but it's certainly been a better run. So this free kick technique we're seeing again, the wall of Preston being man-marked. Certainly an interesting one. Let you know your opinions on this technique we're seeing. It's like the draft excluders. It seems a bit daft at times. 2 players over it for Villa here. It's going to be probably a right swinger. I could probably think, and it's well over in the end. Any danger by Digne well and truly past. Digne is normally better at there because he's gone quite high over there. Villa have got their own set piece specialists throughout the squad, so it's certainly a risk. And Digne normally is. He was very good at Everton of a set piece routine, so I imagine it would be no different at Villa. Quite the day out for Preston fans. Don't often get to see this, and it's gone out for a throw-in for Preston. A bit of a useless deflection by Asensio, I would say. Heckingbottom will be impressed, I think, with his team's first 20 minutes or so. It's going long down the pitch and gone out for a Preston throw. Surely it's a Preston throw. I thought there was a header there by a Villa man, and so did Brady. But they're forced to hurry up, Villa, in their play around the back, because Preston are straight onto them, the intensity. And to be fair, Preston's got nothing to play for this season. It's very unlikely that they're going to get relegated. They're going to finish mid-table as usual. So they'll be throwing everything at this cup occasion. Villa, meanwhile, potentially could reach Europe in the non-cup format way. And so we'll probably have something to play for as well. A bit more than Preston do. The possession so far, absolutely ridiculous. 74% Villa, 26% Preston. But possession doesn't tell the entire story of this half. I think it has been relatively equal, actually. I think Villa have had the marginally better of the play, but Preston have certainly caused some real headaches. You just look at the 2 benches, John McGinn and Ollie Watkins, Pau Torres, are 3 teams that instantly, 3 players rather, that instantly strike me out from the bench of Aston Villa. You look at Preston, Liam Lindsay and Ched Evans for Preston do seem to be players that I would rate bringing on as well. So yeah, working their way out Preston at the halfway line. Again, a bit too much on that ball. That's sort of be the tail of this first half in a sense. It's just been a lot of good possession and a lot of good wing play, but sometimes the through balls have had a bit too much of them and not been quite weighted enough to find their man. Martinez in his D, going and pushing it down, but can't find his man. And Preston are coming for a counter attack using wing play. Tyrone Mings has got it and has been fouled. That is well and truly a foul there by Freuke Jensen. Huge Scandinavian sort of contingent at Preston with Emil Rees, Freuke Jensen, and Borgerson, all from that region. It's going to be a free kick and pummeled downfield by Emi Martinez. Not much he could have done to find his man there. It's always difficult in that position. And it goes out for throw in just inside Villa's half of Villa. He'll probably end up walking to the other half. And they pull it down forward. Can't find their man again. There's a lot of resilient defending going on here. And I think Preston have certainly shown their colours in terms of their defensive attributes so far. Never really looked in danger. The goalkeeper hasn't really been called into action for either side. Halfway line for Villa. For Preston here. And they're just content to play a bit around the back themselves. It's going out wide. That was a really good decision making there. And it's going to be pushed forward by Mughama, which hasn't been too much into the game recently or today. But I think that might have gone out for a corner, but we'll see. Mughama doing a lot of work there. It is duel with Cash. I didn't quite see who touched it last, but it did go out behind the goal. So it's gonna be some real. Brian Little is in attendance. Any Aston Villa fans will know Brian Little is the manager, which took Villa to the League Cup final in 1996 and won it. Certainly a great legend of the game. There's a fair few legends in attendance today, I imagine. Some of the biggest legends, though, of Preston's career are no longer with us. After you've got to remember, Preston went invincible in the first ever Football League season, winning both a league and cup double. And since then, they haven't really had much to shout about. A few good cup runs, but realistically, if we're looking at Preston's history, it's one of all sorts. They've been in League Two, League One before they've been in the First Division. They won the FA Cup in 1938 as well, beating Huddersfield Town. And won the Championship 2 seasons in a row, 1888, 89 and 1889-90. But of course, they are one of the few teams that have had their real highs and lows. They've had some absolutely legendary players, haven't they? Tom Finney, Alan Kelly, Bill Shankly, all gracing the Lily Whites. Will Keane has just picked up a yellow card in this game. Needless foul, sort of halfway between the halfway line and the penalty box. So it's going to be one of them ones, I think, you would imagine. Marcus Rashford probably to take it. From here, it's fairly central. It's a bit far out, I would say, to attempt the shot. But if they're going to, be my guest. And it goes out. Rolling out, and it's going to be a goal kick. Pretty useless free kick, in my opinion, there. It's just, I see what he's tried to do, and he's ended up. Okay, I wouldn't blame Rashford for that when it's deflected off his own player and gone well wide. He sort of was aiming for the bottom right-hand corner. It just took an unlucky deflection by his own teammate. Here we are. Preston, probably cross comes in, and it's a header, and it's up in the air. That was a very good play. Borgenson couldn't quite get the right connection to get it towards goal, but that was certainly some good play. All started off with Brady doing a load of good work on the edge of the box, trying to get the cross in. He's whipped it in. It's punched, flapped up by Martinez. Couldn't quite see who got the header for the initial one, but the second header by Borgenson wasn't quite good enough. I think it was headed backwards by Fractures, so the combination there. It's just unfortunate, but I think that's certainly been one of the top quality chances that Preston have had in today's fixture. Show real danger signs that if they get that final ball, Martinez isn't looking confident, I must be said, compared to his usual self, or the self that we saw at the World Cup. Certainly, he was unflappable in the stage of danger, but that was a heck of a flap and not a great one either. Villa being pressed all over the place. You wouldn't imagine the occasion has got to Villa too much, but there's certainly advantage being played at the moment. That was a off-the-ball tackle. In line with the penalty area, opted for the safe option. It's a bit too slow in the build-up play, if you ask me. It's one of the things that they tried to find that exact right pass to get that precise right goal, and sometimes you just need a lucky, fluky goal, and it doesn't matter too much. There's probably a cross here, and it's slid in and cleared behind for a corner. Solid work there, it must be said, by Hughes. He's put his body on the line twice so far, making sure that the ball goes behind, doing his defensive duties, which is something I do love to see. You got to make yourself big and make yourself a real menace, and make sure that the attackers don't get this single ball. Then Whiteman could prove to has been the person who I think has been quietest at the moment for Preston, and so does need to show himself to be a bit more determination. It's been punched up and back out for another corner by Cornell. Must be said, Cornell, I have been impressed with so far. He's been meeting everything. Certainly the best of the two keepers, in my opinion, at the moment. It's whipped in very deep and headed away. Bit too deep, I would imagine. They were all pretty much in line with the goal line. It just was a bit... Maybe a bit of spreading out would have done a bit of good for that. But Villa, yet again, showing switching up the different styles of corners that they could do. Clearly, a set-piece coach at Villa has got themselves operating in a good way. Martinez sort of just wasting a bit of time here. Sort of making sure that his team calmed down a bit. And nicked possession here by Preston, and they are charging in. Yet again, it's Brady, I think, who's crossed field there. Oh no, it's Brady here, sorry. I think that might be Fracture Junction. And it's crossed in, couldn't quite find a person, headed back. If this could be interesting, it's hooked back in. The danger has not passed at all. Villa really not dealing with it. Story's got it. It's gone back into the centre circle, and the danger has probably now passed. But again, showing that if Preston just nick possession, they can be lethal on the counter attack. And if they're attacking in numbers, you wouldn't want to be dangerous. Derby, I think, are playing Preston in midweek, or the game that they're meant to be playing Preston was against Derby. And I'm not. If Preston are anything like this is going to be quite the game for us. Because they are right in your face, aren't they, Preston? I'm sure Eustace is watching along as I speak and thinking, where's the techniques that we can exploit to beat them? But I'm sure Preston fans couldn't care less about that right now. going long. There's no one there though. It's just gone out for a goal kick. It's a bit of a nothing ball. Like, just got to calm it down a bit. If you make, I mean, it was worth a chance, but you got to get at least near somebody. Most of the balloons have dissipated now, which is good to see. I mean, it's great to. It's still great that we can watch these games free for access as long as you pay a TV license in on the ITV or the BBC as it is today. It is great to see. I mean, it's a throw into Villa. Luca Digne is going to be taking this. Do admire that man's hair. It's a good haircut. Tyrone Mings passes it back to Martinez, who's going to be immediately applied under pressure. Cash is going to come forward here. He's been sort of around Villa for a while as well, hasn't he? And it is put behind for a corner by Mohammed, who I think is playing as the sort of wing back in this 3-5-2 system that they got going. Aston Villa actually have the most set-piece goals excluding penalties this season in the Premier League, joint with Arsenal, Palace and Everton all on 13. So it's certainly an area where they're strong in. I mean, Arsenal get quite a lot of mick taken them from corner set piece, but Villa certainly won. They've switched up again, and every time Preston are matching it, which is always something to see. If there's a pace on that, Martinez is going to had a little bit too much for the centre forward to do. I think that was Emil Reese, but the front two does seem to be quite effective. It's a good system, the 3-5-2. It's something that Derby has been utilising recently to great effect. Quite a similar style of play at Preston are at the moment. And Aston Villa are just constant. It's wave after wave. It's like almost a tennis match, your half, our half sort of thing. There's very little middle of the field play. It's all through the wings, and it's gone behind for a corner for Aston Villa. Great blocking in by Brady there, who is the other sort of wing back as so I imagine in defence, Preston slip back to a 5-3-2, and in attack it's a 3-5-2. It's got a fluid formation. Marcus Rashford will be taking this corner. I'll yet again mention that Tyrone Mings will probably be a good target man. He's got his hands in the air for this. It's going to be an in-swinger, I imagine, by the looks of it. All crowding around just outside the inner box. It's whipped in. And that is an unfortunate header. He was going to ground already, Konza, so there wasn't much he could do. And he's made contact. He's gone behind for a goal kick. Probably just a bit too early to go for the header, and it was really facing the wrong way anyway. Yet again, it's proving that Preston could more than match Villa's direct set-piece approach. I mean, the longer this game stays at 0-0, the longer Preston, the more chance Preston have to win this. And all Villa fans know that. I mean, you gotta think at what point do you say we have played well, but we need a little bit of extra finishing power in the final area when you bring on Ollie Watkins. Which is interesting, but he's not starting today. But we've got a good squad, Villa. He's not going to start every match. Instead, it's Rashford. And Incensio seems to have swapped places, I think, with Rashford being more of a target man now, which I think is probably more expected. High line by Villa, certainly. The defensive line is well within the Preston half. A cheeky counter-attack here would prove quite ruinous, I think, for Villa. And it's gone out for a throw-in for Villa. Meg Homer again, equal to it. Took him a bit of time to get into the game, Meg Homer. He's now well and truly into it. Matty Cash will be taking this throw-in. He has gone back to his own halfway line. Probably going to recycle distribution and possession here, looking for different options. It's a very interesting thing because they keep it along the back of them and just whip out a zip for the wings, and here it is again. You've got Ramsey coming inside here. I think is Rashford. I believe that is. Is that Rashford? No, that was Asensio. They've switched positions, as I just mentioned. Asensio is now out wide. He's all over the place, Asensio. He's a very fluid player. Not quite sure what his position is naturally meant to be, but he's quite a fluid in possession player. And I quite like that from a player. None of this static in certain areas. You got to move around, cause a real headache for players of the opposing team. It's got it lifted in, but it's gone straight to Cornell. 5 minutes till half time, minus injury time, which I don't think there should be too much of, because there hasn't been a single injury. There's been a few free kicks and stuff. There'll probably be 1 or 2 minutes, but nothing much. It's got out for a throw-in. Oh, no, it's not. I thought it went out then, but it was kept in. Martinez has now been put under pressure. They press in 3s and 4s and 5s, Preston. So it's hoping for a mistake, but does leave them vulnerable to be a counter-attack. But the defence is more than capable of sweeping up there. It's just hoofed up a bit by Cornell. It's not the greatest clearance. It's got out for a throw-in around about the halfway line for Villa. It was a bit of a hooked ball up. It did the job. But yeah, and Villa will come again. They always will until they find the decisive winners. But Preston, I think, is just more than matching it at the moment, and it's a goal kick. I think there's protests by Rodgers, I think it is, that there is a free kick, maybe, possibility involved in the build-up there. A lot of arms folded, like mine are right now, by Villa fans, waiting in anticipation for a team to try and score. Long down the field there, and Preston can't quite manage to keep control. They'll press again, though. It's swept up by Mings onto Martinez. Martinez pumps it downfield. Just no one there, and Preston will sweep up in this with the goalkeeper. It's going to become increasingly more hit and hope in these final dying minutes of the game. Flipping at Cornell's picked up the ball. He's wasting time massively here, and he's just absolutely sliced that one. Wow, that's a long ball. That is out for a throw-in for Preston. Certainly lethal from them long goal kicks. To be able to throw a goal, or rather kick a goal kick, basically in line with the opposing team's penalty area, it's a heck of a kick of the player. Keane was going to take it, but opted to leave it for his teammate Emil Rees, which I think is probably main throw-in taker, let's be honest, because we know he's got that throw-in. There's a bit of a Peter Crouch about Emil Rees. He's a very Marmite figure amongst Preston fans, from what I hear. They appreciate his set-piece things, but he doesn't score anywhere near enough for a centre-forward. Hooked up back over into the penalty area. There's a bit of holding on to each other here. I don't know what's going on. Preston have come away with it. They're still in the penalty area. offside is the call. Well, all that excitement fizzled out to nothing, unfortunately. Unfortunately, if you're a Villa fan, I suppose. Yeah, the hook behind by Whiteman. There was two very much obviously offside players in that hook behind. It is the right decision. I mean, he couldn't have known. He just hooked behind him and hoped for the best. Rashford, I believe, is down injured. Wilkeen is protesting something. He is on a yellow as well. He's just sort of ran into the back of it, and it's Konza, not Rashford. He's run into the back of him there. So Wilkie not having a great first half in discipline wise. I mean, certainly both of them, Emil Reese and Wilkie, are proving to be threats though. Forderson, which might be how you actually pronounce it, because I've been pronouncing that name wrong the entire time. It's the end of a half that there wasn't a single piece of goal action to tell you about. It's 0-0. There wasn't any extra time either. So, yeah, as we started the matches, as we were, 0-0. We're just gonna go through the sofa score rankings. I think that's something I usually do whenever I do a watch along. Most of the momentum has been with Villa, but there's been a few spikes with Preston. We got on Preston's team averaging around about a 6.6, I would say 6.68. The lowest is currently that Fordenson on a 6.3. Hasn't every single time he does a goal ball, it seems he's just half snatched at a shot and just missed it a bit too far in that regard. Ben Whiteman, the captain, on a 6.4. You do expect a bit better from a captain. I think he's been a bit missing this game. There's not much he's done. Emil Reese on a 6.4. I think that's a bit unfair. I think in terms of maybe because he hasn't had a proper shot, but I think in terms of his long balls have certainly caused issues for me. We've got a 6.6 for Malcolm. As I said, it took him a while to get into the game. Wilkeen is also on a 6.6. He's sort of not quite, for me, being one of them players who's done stuff. We've got a 6.7 for both Hughes and Gibson. They've sort of done what they've needed to do, but not been standout. But you sort of don't want your sort of defenders to go under the radar, don't you? Cornell is a 6.9, as is Story a 6.9, as is Brady a 6.9. So clearly the stronger half is going out to the right. I agree that Brady, Cornell, and Story have all been quite good. Done some monumental defensive work. But the best player for Preston so far is a 7.1 of Freke Jensen, which I think is an interesting one. I mean, he has been ratting around both boxes, making himself available. On to Villa, they are averaging a 6.8, so marginally better. We're seeing a sort of a 6, the lowest is a 6.5 for Morgan Rogers. That's partly because of expectation more than anything. You'd expect him to be doing some good crossing in and stuff like that. He hasn't quite managed to do it yet. 6.6 for Luca Digne. I think he's got a bit missing at times. His set piece delivery hasn't quite cracked up to the hype he has around him, I think, in today's game. 6.7 for Matty Cash. I mean, he's defensively done what he's needed to do. Attacking sense-wise, sometimes a little bit easily dispossessed, I think. Got an average 6.8 for most players here. Yuri Tillemans, Marcus Rashford, Kamara, Ezri Konza, Emi Martinez. So pretty much most of the team there. They've all just been pretty much average. Hence why they've got a 6.8. Nothing particularly wrong. Tyrone Mings and Jacob Ramsey have both got a 6.9. Defensively solid. But their best player so far has been Asensio, and I think the best player on the pitch is 7.2, and I think I marked that out as an obvious area of strength for Asensio, is that he's just been absolutely everywhere. I mean, I'm going to look, see if I can find his heat map so far. His heat map's he's been in the defensive box for him, he's been on the left middle, he's been right middle, he's been in the right corner, he's been in the penalty area, he's been absolutely everywhere. He's only had 29 touches, admittedly, but 88% accurate pass rate. Certainly a player to keep your eye on. You compare this to Mazroika Zenshin, who has equally been everywhere for Preston, predominantly down on that left-hand flank, but he has also covered the central bit quite well as well. I mean, he's had 18 touches, so not as many, but one key pass, two long balls, and then one big chance created. In terms of, he's won 3 ground duels, though, for Rocky Jensen. But I do want to just pick out Brady here, who has been up and down the wings, 21 touches so far. But I just want to pick out the... so, can I find the interception? Clearances 2, interceptions 1, total tackles 2. So that combined with Story, who has been operating in either the wings or in the centre back, has had 2 clearances, 2 interceptions. It's one of them players. He's had a 100% successful pass rate of his 9 accurate passes, 2 long balls, 5 ground duels won, though. That's for me the key thing. 5 ground duel ones. He's been there when he's needed to be there. So yeah, certainly defensively, you can't really critique. I mean, there's only been really one proper save of the game, and that's Preston's for the 7 corner kicks. Though you got to admit that's been keeping things for minimal. Has certainly been a good technique. For 8 free kicks as well. Like, there's only been one big chance to the side, and I think that must credit the defence of Preston. I mean, the wide players, I think, has for me been an absolute standout. They've been pressing all over the place. I mean, this, I think, I'm trying to just see what the issue is here. So I think it was counted as a free kick, but that's a very marginal decision. So there's a player who's coming off of an offside position, the number 7, Will Keane, after Martinez has released the ball. But I mean, it's a dubious decision to me, because the ball was in the back of the net. I mean, it has bounced off him, but is that against the rules? Because he's not offside. Like, what rule has he actually flouted there? If a goalkeeper throws against a player, what happens? It's a foul resulting in a direct free kick for the opposing team if the contact is outside the penalty area. But that's for the that's for the unsportsman-like one, is it not? I think it was an indirect free kick. I mean, it's such a... I mean, I'm trying to find out for you guys because I'm confused about what rule is there. Because they're currently showing the highlights of a Fulham v Palace game where Palace absolutely dominated every single thing. Preston North End goal disallowed. Maybe if I go on, see if I can find it. Maybe it might be on their. They got a live watch along on the Lancashire Evening Post. We'll see if they say it because they'll be obviously biased. It was very early in the game, but can't seem to find the reason it was disallowed. Forest have been riding their luck, haven't they, in terms of that result, which went yesterday. The draw for this is when is this? Will take place at the end of today, I believe. So I believe that's the case. So Crystal Palace is number 1. Whoever wins this game here gets number 2. The draw is following this match. So if this match doesn't go to extra time or anything, I will probably watch the draw. If it goes into extra time, I think you're beginning to wonder, like, if it's extra time penalties, that's an extra half an hour of watching, and I need to basically call my mum. It's Mother's Day, and I can't just be doing this all day. So I could probably have it on mute in the background, but I can't really carry on live stream watching and you get my reaction. But if there is a goal at the end of his half, I will probably stick around to watch it. Ryan Ledson is currently doing an interview. He's made 211 appearances for Preston North End since he signed in 2018. He's not actually playing though, so I don't know what he's actually doing there. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, solid player. Just looking at the stats, though, there's only been 1 shot on target, despite 7 corners. And I mean, there's been 1 booking so far, but from 7 corners, only 1 shot on target. Villa have underperformed for me, and I think there'll probably be a few harsh words spoken in the dressing room. Will there be any changes? I'm not too sure about that. But must be said, with that much momentum, should be making more efforts of working the goalkeeper. Half chances is the word, I think. But Preston fans will probably take it. I mean, there's always, it just seems to be constantly stuff being thrown on the pitch at the moment. But most of the play has been on the far right-hand side for Preston, whereas for Villa, it's all been coming down their right-hand side. So it's quite interesting, but both have opted to use the right wings much more. I mean, must be said for most of the game has been played in the middle of the pitch, but that's because of how end to end it is. The players are coming out now, so it's one of the things, but we will see. It has to be settled today, either way. But yeah, there are currently 612 football matches going on in this on Sofa Score. Uh, Joe Hart is and Dion Dublin are the people, and Micah Richards are the three people who are on punditry duty for the BBC. If you want to know it, but they've been aggressive, and that must be dedicated for. So a bit of running sesame. So somebody has commented about Marcus Rashford saying, bit of running, set up 3 goals, hasn't scored, invisible on England recall, and ineffective so far against a lower league team. Yet we're still told Rashford is in top form. He's going missing like Sancho did after a great start at Chelsea. Another member of a play when I can be bothered brigade, sadly wasting his talent. Well, that's someone's opinion on the BBC website. If you share the opinion, do feel free to comment. I don't think there's been a substitution at half time. Cornell in goal, Story, Gibson, and Hughes as a back three for Preston. Brady, Whiteman, Freicher, and Fordenson, and McComber in the midfield, with Keane and Reese as the front two for Preston. For Aston Villa, just to let you know, there's a goal kick for Villa at the moment. Aston Villa playing 4-2-3-1 with Martinez in goal, who is the captain. They've got a back four: Cash, Konza, Mings, and Digne. They are got a holding to Kamara and Yuri Tillemans. Front three of Rogers, Asensio, and Ramsey, and then the target man and Marcus Rashford, of which they will probably be needing because they are going forward. They are now out on the wings with Tillemans. Very interesting half of football to come up now. This is where the game is won and lost for me, I think, because if it remains this tight, we're going extra time, and the legs will start creeping in, and Villa will probably end up winning it because they're a bit more, have a bit more quality on the bench. So if Preston are to win it, they're going to need to win it in normal time today. It's gone out for a free kick for Preston with a wild shot by Digne, to be honest. Wasn't really much in it. The ref is gesticulating something. I'm not sure what. I don't know if it was just telling off the player. I mean, I'm just seeing if there's anything wrong with what's going on here. And it wasn't Luca Dean. Luca Dean was trying to run onto it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's a corner. I didn't think it was a corner. Or just a bit too much. And he's gone fallen down over there and pretending to be injured, Rogers. Trying to get a penalty from what I'm seeing. Because that is absolutely disgraceful. There's hardly anything involved there. I mean, he's got an arm on him, but it's hardly enough to go and fall over like that. Brady's just basically just knocked his arm and he's gone flying onto the ground, Rogers. Send me the theatrics, please. I do not want to see that. good play from Preston, though, at the moment. It's probably why there's so much moaning from the Villa players at the moment. So, a lot of they're just not managing to get the ball down at the moment. Villa and Preston are thriving on that in a sense. It's gone out for a throw-in for Preston on the halfway line. Whatever Emery said at half-time doesn't seem to be affecting much in this half. Story to throw it. It's only gone very dark. Cloud has gone over Preston North End as the pitch has only gone dark, then light again. It's a beautiful day altogether. That must be said. It's been a beautiful few weeks. Forrester has been fouled there by Tielemans. The fouls have been a bit light today. Nothing too over the top or zealous in their approach. This I think is the first free kick at Preston have actually. So we'll see what they manage to do with it. So it's not the greatest position there, just out like on the far right hand side, outside the circle, level with the edge of the circle. So it's not gonna. Yeah, it was kind of short. It's gone up, flipping it down to feet. Villa have managed to claim possession, but can't get it any further than the Preston player. Preston are lining up, and yet again, Villa come away with it. The final third hasn't been great for Preston. Oh, but they're coming in now. It's just a line of Villa defence, and from what I gather, this has been Preston's problem for years. That they can act, they're very good defensively, Preston, but they aren't very good offensively. So they get a lot of draws because they're not actually a free scoring team, but they do know how to keep a clean sheet. I'm only going to go and look at the championship table, and you don't need to be too surprised if I say Preston in 14th, scored 39, scored and conceded 44. Like, that's not bad defensively for where they are, but the scoring wise is horrendous. Only Luton Town, I think, have scored less. They're currently in 23rd. So I think it does tell you a lot, doesn't it? Whereas Aston Villa, they're in 9th, 4 points off Europe, scored 41, conceded 45. So a bit more free-flowing in either direction. Luca did need to take a throw in here, but he's gone straight to the Preston man. This is sloppy play here. Or is it good defensive play from Preston? I don't know. But Villa are coming forward. It's now a 3 versus 3. Onto ground as well. Got to get a save here. And that is a good, solid save. Made himself big. And that will relieve the pressure. Cornell has made himself huge there. And don't want you get taught in goal in keeping score. But defensively, questionable. That tackle was nowhere. And then Rashford just couldn't get any, solid connection on it. He's just miskicked it, to be honest, which has enabled a lucky bobble in a sense. And enabled... it almost went through Cornell and into the goal, but he got the knee down on it, so he then could turn around and get on top of it. But it's one of them things that few other things go in Villa's favour there, and they score. But a few things go in Preston, and that situation could have been completely avoided. So there has been a free kick awarded to Preston North End after Asensio committed a foul. It's gone long and headed, and that's going to go straight into Martinez's hands. I must say, Preston have come out the traps this half, or certainly over the last few minutes or so. Uh, last 3 or 4 minutes, I must say, they've been absolutely immensely attacking together forwards as a team. But Villa's defence has so far remained very solid, which I don't think anyone is too shocked about. Goalkeeper Martinez has the ball. He's gone long. That was a very forceful bit of interchange there, but it was allowed to play on. And Rashford now has the ball. I believe it is Rashford. That was an off the ball incident, completely unnecessary. He'll be lucky not to get a card there. I think he's got to go and speak to Ben Whiteman about it, the captain. Has he made a head injury but off the ball? Why is he speaking to Ben Whiteman? Yeah, so there was a bit of clash of heads between Kamara and Whiteman. They're a bit of a midfield tussle up, and now they're going to do a drop ball situation. But Preston could probably come this quite lucky because that was off the ball. Kamara is one with a drop ball, and he's opted to go wide to Cash. He whips it in, headed up again by the Villa player this time, and that will go out for a goal kick. In and amongst the pile of absolutely load of white stuff down there. I have no idea why they're thrown onto the pitch, but all white. Preston haven't actually lost a game at home since the 6th of November. Take that stat in. They've won 6 and drawn 9, but they've not lost since November at home. It's quite the fortress Deepdale at the moment. And it's becoming a bit of aerial tennis at the moment, it must be said. Preston just getting swamped if they try and come forward. So do Villa. It's two quite similar teams in terms of tactics coming up to each other. So it's quite interesting to see. I mean, I think Villa prefer the wide play a bit more. Both of them do sort of try and swarm the other players off the defence, not letting them have time of the ball or time to play. Considering how the game is still in balance, do let me know how you think it's going to go. Oh, that was a poor touch, and now Villa are going to have a chance to come away with it. Solid interception by the number 3, that is Meg Homer. He prevented that counter-attack from well and truly taking shape. It's going to be a throw-in taken by Cash. We're looking at quite some interception work here. And it's gone into the box, and that's going to be relatively straightforward for the goalkeeper to take charge of. I think he's gone out for a goal kick, to be honest. What a momentous occasion, though, for Preston fans. I mean, if for some reason keep on panning to this director's box, I couldn't really care less about the kids in the director's box. It's headed onwards, and I think Villa are going to be able to make a quicker counter-attack here. Oh, solid tackle there. Oh, and that's a goal. That was well worked. Marcus Rashford has now scored. That was... I'm sorry that I didn't commentate on top of that. That was a very one-touch cutting through the defence style of football. A bit too much of being able to name the players. Marcus Rashford's the one which got the final touch, which pokes it home. So that Villa fan who was complaining about Marcus Rashford only can complain. The goalkeeper, Cornell, is trying to rally the troops. There's still plenty of time in this. There's still about 30 minutes left. Just there's so much space provided there. And, I think that might have been an offside position, but he didn't receive the ball initially. So if Rashford initially received the ball there, it would have been offside. But because he didn't, I think it was fine because it's got out wide initially and then crossed in to Rashford, who's just tapped it home, to be honest. Asensio then passed. So it went from Asensio to Luca Digne to the tap in by Rashford. It was in the right place at the right time, must be said, but it wasn't the most prettiest of goals. But it does propel him now to the best player on the pitch, which I think is slightly generous, let's be honest. And lots of people seem to be thinking should have Duran on instead. If they could bring on Duran, some people say you don't score 140 goals for United by being overrated. Yeah, but you do by getting into good positions, it seems. And there is almost a second goal almost immediately there for Villa. That was not great. I'd agree over Villa doesn't look much like a Champions League contender or up to this battle. They're not really relishing it. It was 0-0 for a long time, but they did manage it. I think it's been a good play for Rashford at the moment. There seems to be Digne on the... Is it Digne? No, I think that's Morgan Rogers on the ground. I just saw the number 2. So I think it might be Morgan Rogers instead, but it's not ideal. Is that a stamp? Because if that's a stamp, that's a penalty. That might be a stamp, and if that's a stamp, that could also be considered a red cardable offence from Hughes here. Because I don't know, it does look slightly deliberate. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that second chance was so close. There's a lot of protesting going on from that Hughes stamp. And I think it probably will be a penalty. Almost certainly so. Yeah, it's a penalty. Right decision. He's lucky to be on the pitch, to be honest. Hughes. Rashford will take this penalty. Thing is, it's a disappointment for Preston because they've been in this game for so long, and now they've just sort of all started unraveling around about this hour mark. They conceded, and then they had another cagey thing, and now they've conceded a penalty. It's got a bit to their heads, I think. So yeah, Cornell to be a hero in this tie, or Rashford to bury the hearts and sink all hopes of Preston. A very slow run up by Rashford, and he does slot it home, bottom right hand side for him. And it's a bit of a playful penalty, but it's a penalty nonetheless. Some geezer in the Villa crowd has just taken off his shirt and thrown it all the way onto the pitch. Good job, lad. Good job. But yeah, Villa fans in full voice now, as you can imagine. It's pretty much theirs for the taking. If they lose it now, it's you've got to say it would be unfair on Villa now that they've seemed to just cruise themselves into a 2-0 lead into this bit. It's not great for Preston. I mean, he sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. This kid with a flat calf is getting a lot of camera attention from the cameras. Maybe I would at some point if I was at one of their games. But yeah, pretty much Villa putting this game to bed now. 2-0. Although they always say it's a dangerous scoreline 2-0, don't they? Will Keane has had enough. He is off. He has been sent, well, not sent off, but substituted by the looks of it. I don't know who for at the moment, but we will get you that information as soon as possible. The momentum that Villa have had recently, back-to-back goals, and that shot Marcus Rashford up to an 8.5. Crikey. You'd think you wouldn't have thought he went missing from this. It's Osmacic is on for Keane, number 28. Roll of the dice to see what happens. Then I suppose. But yeah, now Villa will just content to keep possession, I imagine. I mean, Preston are still going with their press. I suppose it's in the name, isn't it? It's been a good cup run for Preston, but unfortunately, yeah, unless, I mean, there's still time, but no, if I get another attack like this, crikey. Marcus Rashford yet again out wide here this time. But now they're dispossessed, and Preston have now got to try and push out. That was cagey play, I'm not going to lie. Doing that around your own penalty area, I would not approve of. I mean, probably chalked up as the most memorable part of the season, this game for Preston fans, or maybe the previous round, beating rivals Burnley 3-0, probably be more fondly remembered. Makoma has got a free kick after being pushed over by Kamara. And I think Preston just need to get their intensity back, cause more problems again. They have that good spell for about 5 minutes, and then after that spell, they conceded, and they've just not looked the same since. Brady is well and truly one of these players who've run their hearts out and put his body on the line today for Preston. Hence why he's been voted as McComber and Brady and Cornell are currently the 3 best players for Preston. And it's real testament to the sort of characteristics that they've had, that they've been dedicating tackles into it. Yeah, you certainly say goals do swing games, but it can be incredibly biased as well at times. It shall be interesting to see if anything happens in the last 25 minutes or so. If not, it's probably quite... I will probably cover the draw. I mean, Man City v Bournemouth is later on today. I don't think I'll cover that one, but I do hope Bournemouth win. That's one I think most people in England do. That is a silly tackle, that. That is a straight yellow, straight in the book for Ben Whiteman. If he's just outpaced, to be honest, the absolute speed of Morgan Rogers just proved way too much. He's just lifted a leg and just tripped and gone absolutely flying. Yeah, deserved yellow card for Ben Whiteman, to be fair. I just don't think Ben Whiteman's been much of a game today. I mean, neither has that Fordson or whatever been either, and so I just think it's one of the things that just not. If they did slightly better in midfield, they could have probably pushed quite coherently and done a lot better job. But if buts and maybes, you always mark down for rooms and improvements. So what I'm seeing is Derby need to bombard them with wing pace when we play them. We have got the 2 players in the team, I think, to do that. But Corey Blackett-Taylor, if he's fit enough, would be a player I would play. his track record of injuries speaks for itself, doesn't it? A lot of nervous faces now for Villa fans because they know that if they hold on to this result, it'll be in the semi-final of the FA Cup. But it's a long way to go, and you don't want to take your eye too much off it and focus too much on the next round because you've still got another 20 minutes or so left. Matty Cash throws the ball very shortly, and it's gone back into the defensive bit with Konza. To Martinez. Still getting pressed. The press doesn't stop. They press a ton. Right, that is cantable moments right there. Lifted up and it's headed, and Kamara will pump it downfield. Marcus Rashford has got this. Lots of options have suddenly just emerged into the penalty area, and it's saved by the number 13, Cornell. I mean, he was onside, and you can't complain about that. Jacob Ramsey, I think it is, who managed it. Osmajic has not done anything. Preston have had 2 attempts, Aston Villa 11 at the moment, which does sort of prove why the game is the way it is. But I don't think that gives the entire impression of the scoreline does flatter to deceive, as does the stats. The game isn't entirely based on stats. And if you look at this, you can very much, if you watch the game live, you'll be able to tell that it is not a game which the stats tell the whole story. Other than stats such as touches in the opposition's half or something like that might be able to persuade you. But I'm not a statistician. I base players on more on the vibe that they're doing. And you look at it, and to a man, I think Preston have looked more up for this game, but somehow Villa are winning it. So be it. And it is a third. It was an incredible run from deep from the number. Who was it? I think it was Rogers scored. Some geezer in Villa is wearing a Tyrone Mings mask. Lots of celebrations all round. Well deserved. It was a good goal, ultimately. Yeah, it all started from a dead ball pass, and it's just gone and tucked right into the bottom corner. Yeah, Luca Digne passing it out to Jacob Ramsey, and Ramsey has just buried it into the bottom left-hand corner there. Done well there. I mean, it wasn't... I think the keeper could have done better, to be honest. But it's now 3-0. Game well and truly over. Preston fans will probably be a bit disappointed. Marcus Rashford on an 88 now. Crikey. Luca Digne, I think, has got to be credited for what he's done. 79. And Jacob Ramsey also has 79. Now there's some changes afoot for Villa. McGinn is coming on. John McGinn, and Asensio's coming off. I don't think that's for the same person. I think they might probably bring on some youth experience now. Rashford's also coming on. Is it a double change or a triple change? I can't quite tell. Rogers is coming off as well, so it's a triple change up front. Now that the game is well and truly buried, they may get a bit more defensive. So there's Donyell Marlon has come on. John McGinn's come on. So Tielemans came off for McGinn. Asensio came off for Onana. And Rogers came off for Marlon. So 3 substitutions all at once. Certainly a interesting move. I mean, Villa leading 3-0 now. It's all but a guarantee. But they seal it, especially this year they brought on Amadou Onana and John McGinn. Like the quality, and Daniel Marlon, like the quality they've brought in, is certainly something. I think it was Daniel Marlon at Dortmund before January. I wonder he's done. Yeah, he was at Dortmund from 2021 to 2025. So yeah, he was at Dortmund before he came to Aston Villa, and certainly one of the standout players at the moment. 42 appearances for the Dutch national team. Can't take away what he's done in his career, despite only being 26. He's getting into that peak of his career now. And certainly will be wanting to make something of it. I mean, Preston, credit where it's due, they've not given up. They're still trying to find a goal. But in 15 minutes now, it's probably a little bit too late. And Villa just looks so much as a team. Like, there's a lot of play of foot. And Villa are coming again. And I mean, there's almost too many Villa players in the box to know what to do. The shot from, I think, Marlon is deflected. It is a free kick given to, which taken quickly by Villa. Osmajic is the perpetrator. A lot of, I think, yeah, you look at every pass now, Villa just used to make his finding their man, which was so different compared to that first half. Cleared by Preston. I mean, the press isn't stopping, which I suppose is a good thing. But you gotta say, you would not be surprised to see Villa make the final at this rate. If they actually get up for a whole 90 minutes as opposed to just the final 30. I mean, I think there's certainly something to be said against coming in against a championship opposition, but it was always going to be a game which wasn't taken seriously. Marcus Rashford doing a very interesting play there, realising the ball was going to go out, slid in and decided to stick it out for an opponent throw in as well, because it just proves it's easier. Emil Reese is coming off, probably for the best, to be honest. A bit of fresh blood up front. Liam Lindsay is coming on, the Northern Irish, I believe he is. McComber is coming off as well. No, Liam Lindsay's Scottish, rather. It's from Glasgow. And Ched Evans, a name for the ages, if ever there was one. If you know your Welsh national team, 2008, 2011, he made 13 appearances at his time there. Appeared a few times for Manchester City, Sheffield United, did a solid there. Sort of very prolific with Fleetwood Town over the last few seasons. And since joining Preston in 2021, scored 16 goals in 88 league games. Certainly a player to watch out, but Ched Evans for me will always be Sheffield United in terms of what he was known for. See if he can make a difference in this game. They'll be relying on him. I mean, there's not a lot of huge player turnover with Preston. We don't tend to sign a lot of players. A lot of them don't seem to be academy ones either. I don't know how they just happened. They just signed all their players in like 2021 and just stuck it in the pitch ever since. There seems to be even more changes afoot for Villa. I think you'll have 5 in the FA Cup at this stage of the tournament. Matty Cash to throw this. He's got a long throw on him. doesn't quite find his man as he's at the play. Was trying to find was out-headed. And again, span it up. Again, there's just more aerial dominance by Preston, that must be admitted. Oh, and that is a poor mistake. Come on, Preston need to capitalise on this, and it's deflected. It's brought down, but yeah, there were so many Villa players around there. There was no time to even get a pass or a shot off, really. Such an organised, defensive, cohesive unit Villa have been this game, actually. That must be said. I think you look at them and they are very much a team who works together. They've got a lot of star-studded quality as well, you know. They've been really building a team over the last few years that certainly strikes you to be a very good Premier League side. They're just patiently building up now, and it's coming up to the final 10 minutes. And you do feel for a sense of Preston. Losing 3-0 is a scoreline that flatters to deceive Villa in this position. Like, this was not a 3-0, and there has been a foul given. Yet again, it seems to be Ramsey who is down. Just been absolutely clattered in my story there. Yep, double change foot by looks of it. Matty Cash is coming off. The amount of crosses that guy's doing. And Marcus Rashford is coming off. So, must be said, Marcus Rashford, the last 20 minutes, or maybe 25 minutes, been absolutely fantastic for his team. Yeah, he's been replaced by Watkins, has come on. Unsurprisingly, I think most people knew that. I mean, the free kick doesn't come to anything. It's just gone behind. I mean, I don't know if it was a shot or a pass. I think they were trying to find a player, and Dinu there, and the header just dinked too wide. So Rashford came off for Watkins, and Cash has come off for Andreas Garcia. The Spanish maestro. And now I'm going to have to check myself that I am right on that. Because it'll be difficult. Oh, no. He is from Spain. There you go. From Levante originally. A young player, 22 years old. Not had much experience. Oh, Villa come together and a shot, and they have just missed. I was dragged wide, actually. Very narrowly by Watkins. You don't expect better from Watkins there. With his prolific record. I mean, I'm not entirely sure why Rashford was brought to replace Watkins, to be honest, but if that's the sort of chances you're missing in that, the net was wide open apart from the goalie. You just had to put it into the corner and get it in. But alas, it doesn't. And a double change of foot for Preston North End. We're going to be seeing Theo Mwene come on. Forson is coming off. Probably for the best, as he's been pretty out of this game. And Frochjar, I don't know, he's coming off for Theo Carroll. Is it Theo Carroll any relation to Andy Carroll? I'm not sure. Doesn't seem to be the most well-known person out there. I mean, he is only 17 years old, Theo Carroll. I mean, this is going to be his debut. Exciting future ahead for Villa, clearly. I mean, I don't know too much about him. If he's any relation to a legendary Andy Carroll, then you know a lot about him. He doesn't look like it. He does look young, though, doesn't he? Crikey. He looks very young. He doesn't look anything like Andy Carroll, though. So I very much doubt we're related. Let's see what the hype about him is. I mean, there will be inevitably some nerves and stuff. You can't take too much from the final 5 minutes or so of an FA Cup quarter-final. It'll be a huge stage in this man's career, making his debut in the FA Cup quarter-final, isn't it? Pumped downfield by Emi Martinez. Can't find his man. I mean, a little bit of a dummy there of a pass. That was quite cool by Preston there. You don't often see that happen from a Championship to a Premier League team. It's normally the other way around, isn't it? That touch was beautiful by that Villa player who just managed to drop it out of mid-air. Like, sometimes the ability to grace a football and do stuff like that. Like, if you've tried doing that, you ain't succeeding. And that's why they are on the big books. That will be a free kick. And the first real piece of action that Carroll has been involved with is to have been on the receiving end of a foul. We're going to Wembley. Yes, you are, Villa. Well, potentially. There's a semi-final still hosted at Wembley. I think so. It's a fair way out, this free kick. Ben Whiteman over it. With captain and leader. Brady is also over there. You don't think either would be a particularly good option. But Brady's to take it. And he's gone. Oh, he's headed in. And a bit too easy for Martinez. Using his height and prowess to claim that ball. I mean, must be said. I need to stop saying that. That Emi Martinez has not had a lot to do this game. That is for certain. What he has done, he's done well, but he's not been called into action a great deal of times. I think that's pretty much where the disappointment with Preston has lied. That they just haven't managed to capitalise on pressure with creating it into shots and challenging Martinez. We know he's a good goalkeeper, so I'm sure he would have been more of a level to any shots coming to him. But if you don't take the shot, you're not going to score. Lots of changes, though, in this second half. It becomes suddenly quite a lot more difficult to know which players are doing what. Especially seeing we now have got a flipping drone shot from the outside of Deepdale. What am I meant to be doing with that? Yes, it's a nice stadium, but I would like to watch the match. Yes, so here we are back again. A bit of an oddity there. It is in the penalty area by Emi Martinez, of his own penalty area. It's very risky moves. But it's a team which takes risks which pay off. There's still that team which plays out the back, which I seem to remember Derby playing in the Championship playoff final all them years ago now, back in 2018-19. A lot of the players aren't the same anymore, but still that philosophy that Villa have embedded in their club of playing out from the back does seem to be instilled. I mean, been in the Premier League ever since, and Derby, well, we know the story of what's happened with Derby since. A Villa fan once told me that if it was the other way around in the playoffs, Villa would have been in that situation. It was very much the They always call it the millionaire tie, the playoff finals, and it is also a bit of a lottery at times, and you end up overspending on the odds. We're approaching the final minute and a half of normal time, so probably going to reckon not that much added stoppage time. A little bit too aggressive for the referees' liking was the number 31 for Preston North End, which is the brought on Theo Mawene. So Lucas Paqueta will get a free kick. For some reason, the referees talking to him in an exceptional amount of time. There's singing all around from the Villa fans, who have travelled in healthy numbers, as you would expect. Whipped in and can't get past the first man. Mawene clears it out for a throw-in. It's about level middle of a penalty spot. It's thrown in by Paqueta, and there's a run onto it, and you're gonna have to deal with this. Drag just wide there by Ramsey there. A little bit too much, but it wasn't a bad effort. I mean, the bench's reaction says it all, really. It was not bad. It's a corner kick as well, so I don't know if it took a little deflection all the way there. Preston haven't had a single corner, by the way, but this is the 9th by Villa. There's 2 minutes of added time. Paqueta to launch this in. I mean, the tie is over and done with at this rate of this period of time. I mean, I think it was an offside decision, maybe? I'm not sure. The player of the match given by the Emirates is Marcus Rashford. Interesting. I know you get a lot of Rashford hate boys. You always do. But I do think there were better players to select than Marcus Rashford. Although, to be fair, it did have to go for the Villa side, I suppose. And in that regard, I mean, he has been good for Villa. I mean, I know the team won 3-0, so that's partly probably a reason why. But I don't know. For me, it's been quite hard to name a player of the match because there's not really been a standout player. Maybe Ramsey. Asensio, I was pretty impressed with in the first half, but now he's been taken off. So has Rashford. I mean, Preston have just drawn a free kick. Brady is complaining about something. I mean, he is a little bit of a complaining merchant, by the sounds of it. Very interesting. I need to find out what time the draw is because I'm not waiting here forever. What time is FA Cup semi-final draw? That is full time, by the way, because that's why I was questioning what time it is. So Aston Villa are through to the FA Cup semi-finals thanks to 2 goals from Marcus Rashford, and sealed the deal by Ramsey. Sorry, I keep on confusing them too. And yeah, they will join Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, and whoever is between Bournemouth and Man City takes place. Apparently, the draw is at 4:30. After the sorry, no, that's when the next game is, and I'm not watching that next one. So the draw is actually I don't actually know when the draw is. Just trying to find on all sorts of different websites what time it's going to be. Well, turns out no one knows. Anyway, I will run down through the sofa scores while we wait and see how long it's going to be. We're going to start with the substitutes for Preston North End. They have an average score of 6.5, Preston. The substitutes, we had a 6.4 for Osmacic. Didn't do much. Was really absent when he came on. Didn't have the desired effect at all. Liam Lindsay had a 6.6. I don't think he really got into it either. 6.4 for Ched Evans. Didn't get a chance, really. 7.0 for Theo Carroll. I mean, impressive for a young lad of his age, only 17. That I think that's fair enough. 6.3 Theo Mwene. Someone who just didn't seem to, since he came on, have anything to sort of celebrate. And to be fair, Theo Mwene is one of them players who is also quite useful and did make his debut, but I don't think it was a really impressive standout debut. Let's put it that way. I'll be charitable and say the occasion did get to it a bit. In terms of the starting 11, we had Cornell and 6.8 for Villa, for Preston. Yeah, I think I would say, despite 3 goals, they weren't always necessarily his fault. I feel a bit bad for the back 3, which have got given a 6.2 for Hughes, 6.4 for Gibson, and 6.4 for Story, because I don't actually think it was the most disjointed back 3. I just think the quality a little bit shone. I mean, after the first goal, the floodgates was really sort of open, and you must say that I think it was Hughes who was responsible for the penalty, and that's definitely why he's been marked down. Definitely, I think deserving of some sort of booking, but he didn't get any. The midfield 5, well, 7.0 for Meg Homer and 7.1 for Frank Extension. I don't think either of them particularly should have come off because they were performing quite well, Preston, when they had them on the team. Maybe Ben Whiteman should have at 6.4. Forson got a 6.1, the worst player for Preston. Definitely didn't really get into the game. Bit selfish at times, and his selfishness just meant that the opportunities just went flying. 6.9 for Brady. He did an all right job. I mean, he was complaining a bit at times, but I think you can't complain too much about him. He did an all right job. 6.5 for Keane and a 6.4 for Emil Reese. Neither of them really did what strikers need to do. You look at the bench of Aston Villa, the changes didn't really actually make that much of an impact. 6.3 for Marlon, 6.8 for McGinn, 6.8 for Nana, 6.5 for Garcia, and 6.5 for Watkins. I don't think any of them particularly made a huge dent of difference. I think Watkins was the nearest to doing anything with his shot being dragged just wide when he was in a 1v1 opportunity. But yeah, in terms of starting 11, Emi Martinez on a 7.2. He didn't have to do a lot, so it's not I mean, it's relatively easy when you've not got that much attacking threats to be able to get a high score. 6.8 for Cash. Yeah, he was a bit absent during that wing, especially. 7.3 for both Tyrone Mings and Esri Konza. Did what they needed to do. They saw the game out well. Nothing reckless, nothing stupid. Just did a solid defensive job. 8.4 for Luca Digne with 2 assists to his names and a set piece delivery as well. Could have scored from a corner more, and I would have bumped it up even more. But I think he's done what he's needed to do. He was up and down the wings. You look at his some of his stats. His heat map is the entirety of the left wing. He's just been up and down there. 2 assists, 3 clearances, 1 interception. He did have an error at one point, but he had 3 ground duels won and 2 aerial duels won. And I must say that when you he got 6 crosses in, which was solid. You got you got Boubacar Kamara on a 6.9, which he was very much drifting out off to the right a lot of the time. And I mean, it was just sort of an average performance. I mean, he won a lot of ground duels, 16 ground duels. So in terms of that, he was a right tussler at times. 6.9 for Yuri Tillemans. I don't think he was really in the game. 6.9 for Morgan Rogers. Was just looking a bit leggy at times. Just was a bit absent. Didn't really get onto the ball too much. I was expecting a bit more from a player who's had so much hype recently over the last few seasons. I must say that he could have done better. 7.1 for Asensio. I mean, he started off all right. Then just sort of faded out into the second half. But he had dedication, but he did ultimately end up a bit worse for wear. 8.2 for Jacob Ramsey. Absolutely stunning player. Ramsey has got a great future ahead of him. Scoring that goal, of course. 51 touches, 87% pass accuracy, 1 key pass. I mean, he had 10 ground duels won. It's just one of them games that he was just immense for me. 8.7 for Marcus Rashford and man of the match. I don't think he was actually that good, to be honest. I mean, he had 4 shots on target. 2 of them scored, of course. Missed 1 big chance, an absolute sitter. But only 33 touches. 3 key passes, to be fair. 3 crosses. And 2 big chances created. 4 ground duels and 3 aerial duels. I just think, yes, he deserved man of the match because, he scored for 2 goals. But it must be said that, if there was another player who stepped up and shone through, I would have backed them over Rashford because I don't think Rashford really was a shining example for me. I think we're about to have a semi-final draw, actually, because they have the bag out. Joe Hart, the ex-Man City goalkeeper, Man City playing this afternoon, is going to be drawing out the numbers for us. I mean, it shouldn't take long. There's only 4 teams in it. It's getting towards the real tail end of it. The first team to be drawn out is number 4, home advantage for Nottingham Forest. Damn it. Absolute damn it. And they're hosting number 3, Bournemouth or Man City. Well, that's good because if Man City get through and they can beat Forest out and then get to the final, hopefully that happens. So that would mean Crystal Palace is hosting Aston Villa. That'll be a very interesting game. So let me know in the comment section down below what your reaction to that draw is. Let me know your reaction to this game. I will be ending now. I've been speaking for almost 2 hours. It's been a great game to watch. Please do subscribe if you're new around here. And I will see you all in the next video, which will probably be my predictions on Tuesday. Goodbye for now.